everybody. Welcome to Busy Living Sober. Busy Living Sober. Busy Living Sober. It's episode 279. 279. And today's episode is sponsored by SoberLink, which strives to erase the stigma of alcohol addiction. Their remote control monitoring tool has helped over 500,000 people to be more accountable in their sobriety. Their voluntary system encourages connection and honesty, which helps to rebuild trust and maintain sobriety. I've teamed up with SoberLink to create a resource guide, tips for keeping busy living sober for those in recovery. Visit www.soberlink.com to download the resource. And if you or someone you know can benefit from accountability for alcohol recovery, you'll also find a form on that page to sign up for a $50 promo code. $50 off promo code. So welcome everybody. And today's topic is don't give up. How many times have you given up because you didn't think you were doing a good job? How many times? I can tell you, I've given up so many times on things that I've started because I didn't think I was good enough. My head said stop. I can tell you that it has been, there's so many things that I've given up. I was actually, many times I thought about giving this up. I'm like, you know what? I was supposed to have a guest on yesterday, hence I'm on today, but I was supposed to have a guest on yesterday. And for whatever reason, she couldn't come, and it's okay. I'm not mad at her or anything like that, but I'm just like, I just am like, oh my gosh, should I just give this up? And I think a lot of people think about giving up. I've done this alcoholism thing long enough. I'm going to give it. I'm done. I'm just going to have a drink. It's getting too hard. Or we give up, we leave something, we make a promise to ourselves, I'm going to do this, especially now, January. Why do we always make these promises that are so big? I made all these promises, which I'm actually keeping because I was sick and tired of feeling the way I was feeling. And the reality is, I made these promises. I'm going to give you my promises. You all know I quit smoking. So I haven't had a cigarette in 13 days. Woo, woo. And instead of looking at it like, oh my God, I miss it. This is horrible. I look at it like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I haven't had a cigarette in 13 days. This is amazing. And when I crave one, I pick up a straw and I smoke a straw, just literally a straw. I have these silicone straws that I got from somewhere, and I just pick those up and I'm like, and I blow that in, and then I'm pretending I'm smoking. So so that I'm still doing. And then I decided that I wanted to eat healthier. And the reason I decided I wanted to eat healthier is because in reality, all my clothes are too small. So I was sick of having that roll come over. Does anybody have that? Especially after the holidays, I was like, this is just gross. I have this muffin top that's going over everything, and it's still there 13 days into this, but I'm going to not give up. And when I quit drinking, I was like, sometimes it gets hard. I remember going to a party with my friend Nadine, who's now no longer here, but we love her. I think of her all the time. But I remember being at this party they were having, and I went to their house, and they're having this big party, and everybody's drinking, and it was Labor Day. And I was like, and I looked at her, and I was like, you know what? I just quit in August. What's the big deal? I'm just gonna have a glass of wine here. And she was like, no, you're not. You're going to a meeting. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, fine. So she introduced me to one of her friends, and that friend ended up taking me to a meeting, and I didn't pick up a drink that day. And it's so crazy because so many times you just you give up. At least I give up, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I give up on, not only do I give up on things, I've given up on people in my life because I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't. I think sometimes giving up on a person, if certain things have happened, I think that's okay. And I think sometimes it is worth it to give up on some things, but sobriety is something that it's not worth giving up, for sure. Don't give up. if you've made this promise and it gets hard, because it does get hard. Life gets hard. It just does. I am constantly feeling like I've got more to like go deeper in my life. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to dummy down this. So I think that there's like, we're like an onion, right? And there's layers and layers and layers and layers. And when you get to the bottom, which I've not gotten to, and I don't know anybody who ever does, but when you work through this stuff and you have something else that comes up in your life, I have stuff going on, and I don't need to get into what the details are, but it's kind of shitty stuff. And it's nothing health wise, but it's just stuff that's just, it sucks. Just some stuff that just sucks. And it's pulling back these layers, which is just, sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to write anymore about myself. I don't want to go and write and journal about the way I'm feeling. I don't want to work the steps with this person. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I just want to give up. I just want to be done. I'm just like, and why is that our first thought? That is always my first thought. I'm just going to be done. I'm just giving up. I'm done. I don't want to do this. Yesterday, I had that thought. I had that thought yesterday. I'm like, I'm done. Maybe this whole thing. Why am I doing this podcast? Why am I doing this? I hate this. I think this is stupid. Who even listens to this podcast? I don't even know. I mean, I know they're my loyal followers out there, and I love you guys to death. And but I was in that pity party. I was in like, I'm just done with all this. I'm just done. I'm just done. I don't want to do it anymore. And I got up today and I went to bed last night feeling like that. I went to bed last night like, I'm just like, ugh. And I have my first sponsor on the show. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I have my first sponsor for the show, and I'm thinking, I'm just going to give up. I'm done. I'm done. And my kids have said that to me. They're like, Mom, do you know you've given up on things that could have been really successful, but because you get in your head that you're not good enough, you quit them? And I'm like, No, my first reaction, that's a lie. I didn't say, My first reaction was like, oh, give me an example. What are you talking about? I got defensive. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't give up on anything. They're like, yes, you have. I'm like, oh my God, you're right. You're right. And it's walking through things. It's like walking through relationships. It's walking through friendships. It's walking through marriages. I mean, I walked away from a marriage. I was like, it's too hard. I'm done. I give up. I can't do this anymore. I'm fighting with this person too much. I just want to throw it away. And it's so, I don't know where I believed that this was going to be easy. Like life was going to be easy and everything was just going to roll my way and everything was just going to open up. And it was just going to be easy street all the time. But I don't know anybody who's walking on this planet. Not anybody. And I know a lot of people. And I know some people that have, money is not the issue, but everybody has something. Everybody. Nobody goes through this unscathed. We all have something. And my big something is my head, is my thinking. My thinking is what's skewed, right? My thinking. It's not my drinking anymore because I haven't had a drink in so long. But my thinking gets crazy, right? My thinking says, oh, this isn't working out. So okay, one person didn't come that was supposed to come. Now my poor listeners has to listen to me. So I'm going to just take you through my thoughts and you guys can see if you can relate to this. So, I have this thought that, I was so excited. So that's my first thing, my expectation. I'm like, I'm so excited to have this person on the show. Hopefully she will come on at some point, but for whatever reason, it didn't work out. I don't want to get into that, but because she didn't come, it ruined everything. Then it became, oh my God, nobody wants to listen to me. Everybody's gonna be so sick of listening to me. They have to listen to me again. Drone on about life and being sober. And I know he wants to hear that. I'm just gonna quit this. I'm just gonna stop. I write a letter to these people that want to sponsor my shows. And I'm just gonna be done. Just gonna be done. And to any of you, have any of you felt like that? You just get to that place where you're just like, I cannot physically, emotionally do this anymore. I'm done. I just can't. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Instead of maybe taking a time out. So I took a time out. Last night, I got into bed. I turned off all electronic devices. I'm reading a really good book. It's fiction because I wanted to get lost in fiction. And you're gonna say, what is the name of the book? And I think it's called Who You Meet on Vacation. It's really funny. It's a very funny book. Um, and it's very light and it's very airy. And I needed that. I wanted that. So I went and I read my book. I took a bubble bath. And I got up this morning and I did a meditation like I always do. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening. And I do them all in Insight Timer. I think I told you guys that. But I'm listening to this meditation. And all of a sudden, I thought about gratitude. Now, gratitude's a tool that my sponsor taught me in the very beginning. She said, write the things down that you're grateful for. And I was like, what am I grateful for? This is boring. I'm telling you the same things all the time. And but the longer I stayed sober, the more that my gratitude got deeper. And for better or for worse, I stopped doing it, at certain times in my life. But this morning I went to gratitude. I went back to basics. I went back to, oh my gosh, what am I grateful for? I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed that I woke up sober today. I woke up sober. I'm not hungover. I woke up, I remember what I did last night. I know where my car is. I didn't smoke yesterday. My kids are healthy. I'm pretty much happily married. You know what that's like sometimes. Everything is really actually pretty good. We've got some snafuis, but they're not like, they're hard, but it's okay. It's okay. And but when I let it take over, I let these little things, these little nuggets just ruin my day. It becomes a catastrophe and it becomes, I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to give up. I'm just done. I'm just done. And I don't want to be done anymore. I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up busy living sober. I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm not going to give it up yet. I don't know. Maybe one day I will. Maybe one day it'll be brought to my attention. Maybe somebody will say to me, get off there. Stop doing this. It's stupid. I don't know. And maybe I'll still keep doing it if somebody says that. I don't know. But I know that we give up and we throw in the towel when it gets hard. At least I do. When things aren't going my way, when everything isn't perfect, I end up just throwing the towel in and giving up. And I don't want to do that. I want to focus on the positive things. When I do this, when I do recognize that I want to give up, I've got to recognize the good things that are going on in my life. I can't just focus on the bad things. But we get like that. At least I do. I get like that. Like I did last night. I don't know why I finally just turned everything off and went and read my book. I was like, I'm just gonna read my book and I'm gonna get in the shower. But I did it. I did it. I just took the time and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna go to where I normally go. I am going to just turn it off and not even think about anything. And we have the ability to do that when we're sober. When we're drinking, all we think about is the drink, right? Is there enough? Am I going to have enough? Do they have enough? Everybody have enough? Do I have enough? How am I going to get home? Where am I going to go? I still remember that to this day. So, if I hadn't had these tools from the very beginning that somebody actually taught me, I did not learn myself. Somebody told me about this. None of this was learned. None of this is original. But when I can go back to using those tools, my life is better. It's better. And I don't want to give up anymore. And I tell that thing in my head that says, you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not pretty enough. Nobody likes you. Nobody's listening to you. People are sick of you. People are making fun of you. You have no good message. It's a waste of time. What are you doing? Da, la, 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 la. There's a part of me that says that, but I have to squash that. Bam. and say, that's bullshit. And even if it is true, who cares? I'm doing this because I want to help people. I want to help people that are feeling the same exact way and let them know that you're not alone. When you feel like giving up, I totally get it. But it's not the fact that you are wanting to give up, it's the fact that you're going to keep going. And some days it's hard. Some days life gives you freaking lemonade. I swear, I have a very dear friend who's going through she owns her own business, and it is just hard every single solitary day. And she works 20 hours a day. And she is just like, oh my gosh, she calls me and she's like, this is just unbelievable. I'm just like, I can't, she had this person working for her. She didn't show up and do what she wanted her to do. And she's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I'm like, you're going to do it one little bit at a time, one little bit at a time. We all have things. And I think that sobriety gives us the ability to take the deep breath, to be able to go, okay, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to take this one bite at a time. I think when we have a sponsor that actually takes us through this and walks it through us one bit at a time, when we can call somebody that we can be honest with, I don't care if that's your friend, if it's a priest or somebody who listens to you and loves you unconditionally. It's hard to find. It is so hard to find that person. I can tell you that right now. It is so hard. And if you haven't found it, don't give up. Keep trying. You can always email me. I will respond to you at bizzy@bizzylivingsober.com. But when we're drinking, we have these problems like I'm just discussing, right? We have these senses of self-doubt. We have these senses that we want to give up. We have these senses that it's just like, give me another drink. I just can't take it anymore. And then we drink and then we wake up the next day. And not only then do we have all these problems of wanting to give up and everything sucks and everything's horrible and da 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 da. We also have that sense of now we're hungover. Now I hate myself. Now I'm a loser. Look, I said I wasn't going to drink and I drank and I did this. And now I'm in this place that I swore I wasn't going to get to. And here I am again. And then we look at ourselves in the mirror and we hate ourselves. And we're like, what are we doing? And we hate our kids and we hate everything else. And these isms that are inside of us take over. And it's just debilitating, at least for me. It's just that whole time when I was drinking, it just was so bad. So today I can say, I'm going to take a deep breath. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea who's going to listen to this. I have no idea. I never know. People say, how many listeners do you have? I say, I have no idea. Does it really matter? I don't think it matters. But when I'm feeling bad, I just want to give up because I feel bad and I feel sad and I feel deflated and I feel let down and I feel a little shame because of things not working out the way I wanted them to work out. And I feel a little fear that things are never going to work out the way I want them to work out. And I'm going to feel a little sadness that nothing ever works out. And I'm going to feel I'm going to have all these feelings, which aren't facts, right? They're feelings and they aren't real. Feelings aren't real because they change all the time. I can't focus on that one feeling, even though I want to. My head wants me to, right? My head wants me to focus on that one feeling, but I can't. I need to move my feet. And sometimes that's just walking to the mailbox. Sometimes it's going on a walk and getting outside and breathing. But if we move our feet and we talk to somebody and we realize that it isn't all about giving up, it isn't that bad. Our head tells us it's that bad, but it really isn't. Sometimes even raising 10,000 feet in your head and looking down on your life and looking at it, it's really not that bad. I have some really great things going on because we all do. We all have big things, but we all have little things that add up to be big things too, that are amazing things, like the good things. And it's focusing on the good things. Sometimes it's focusing on the fact that, you're giving you this time to listen to me talk about positive things. You're listening to me say, oh my gosh, these are some tools that work for me. You're getting tools for your toolbox that work for you. Nothing is bad enough to pick up a drink for. Nothing. Nothing, because you're still there and you still are going to have that doubt and you're going to still have those fears unless you feed the faith. And the faith comes from gratitude. It comes from realizing that, gosh, I'm so blessed just to have the ability to see grass, like to see the trees, to see nature. It's just such a gift. JF called me outside this morning. He's like, look at this big, huge woodpecker. There was a huge woodpecker on this tree and with a big red head. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, beep, 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 beep. Soon enough, it's going to be spring in this country. And that's like the best, just hearing the birds. Sometimes do you remember being drunk and going, oh my God, why are those birds so loud? And now it's like, oh my gosh, I got to hear the birds. We have the ability, if we're sober, to be able to not give up and to be able to say, I'm going to work on this if it's worth working on. Now, if it's something that you're doing and it's a relationship, I can tell you, like, sometimes some relationships with other human beings aren't actually good to have because they don't bring you up. They bring you down. If you have people in your life that aren't celebrating you, find some people that do. Find somebody who celebrates you. I know there's somebody out there. I know you will find them. But surrounding yourself with people that are Debbie Downers and negative does not bring you up. It brings you down. There was something that my first sponsor told me a long, long time ago. She used to say to me, stick with the winners. And I was like, well, how do you know who a winner is? And she's like, well, somebody with long-term sobriety. And I was like, okay. And I did that. I stuck with the winners. I stuck with people that I wanted what they had. They had this sobriety. They had this peace about them. If you know somebody in your life that has peace about them, stick with them. Hang out with them. Go get brought up to their level. If they're really positive, hang out with the positive people. Don't hang out with the people that are bringing you down. Oh, this is horrible. There's a lot of things that are going on in this world right now that are really bad. I am not going to deny that. And I am the first one that can get roped up in what's going on. I am like, I get in it. I know exactly what's going on. I read the newspapers. I read this thing. I read that thing. And I can get all fired up and go negative, negative, negative. Or I have to realize I can't do it all the time. I don't want to pretend like it's not going on. I don't want to be like delusional that stuff's going on, but at the same time, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. I want to be able to do something. What can I do to change something? Yes, I will work towards that. But I'm not going to sit here and dwell on something because there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. And I don't want it to ruin my day. I don't want it to ruin my day. I think God gives us these amazing gifts of this brain and this body that we can do so many other things than focus on just one thing. So we can recognize, yes, there's things going on in this country. Can I do anything about it? I can pray for our country. That's what I can do. That's the only thing I can really do. I can say, God, please watch over our country. Please, please, please watch over our country. Watch over the people that are guiding us. Please, please, please. And then I can let go. I can, the people that are in my life that are negative, I can pray for them. I remember when I was first getting sober. Now at this point, when I was first getting sober, I was like newly divorced. And it was bad, bad, bad. My ex-husband, it was terrible. It was just, oh my God, the darkest time of my life. But anyway, he was drinking a lot and my kids were going over there and he was falling down and all this stuff was going on. And I would say to my sons, oh my God, can you believe he's doing this? Can you believe he's doing that? And you know what she'd say to me? Pray for him. And I would be like, what? I don't want to pray for him. She goes, I don't care if you want to or not. You have to do it. And I would pray for him. And I would pray for him. And the crazy ironic thing is he ended up getting sober when I had 7 years sobriety, he got sober. And I've been praying for him to get sober, praying. And it worked. Prayer works. Sometimes that's your action. Instead of going, I'm going to give up, I'm just going to pray for that person. I might take a time out. That's cool. Take a time out, read a book, go like do something for you, take a bubble bath, go for a walk, do something. But don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Sometimes when the going gets tough, we can't get going. We got to just sit here. When God gives you lemons, make lemonade. Look for the positive in your life. Don't just throw it all away because your head's telling you that you aren't good enough. You're not worth it. You're a loser. All these old tapes that we have inside of ourselves. Don't listen to it. Write down what you're grateful for. Do a meditation. Get on your knees and thank God. Even if you don't believe in God, thank whoever for giving you this day of sobriety or helping you get today as your first day of sobriety, whatever it is on wherever you are in your path that works. Because I always have to remember that I always have to be working this, because if I had diabetes, I'd be taking insulin, right? I have this disease that tells me I've got to reach out to people. I can't do this by myself ever. I need help all the time. I need all of you. I need to recognize and admit to you when I'm having these problems like I am, and having this self-doubt and these feelings of wanting to give up, because I don't want to give up. I really don't. I really don't. I get in here and I do it and I love it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I get a letter, an email telling me that this helped you get one more day. And that makes my, like, it's amazing. It's amazing. I just thought of something crazy, and then I'm going to shut up and I'm going to get off here. But I think about like going to the gym. I'm not a gym rat. Most of you know that. I do not. I walk outside, and going to the gym to me is like the worst thing in the world. Working out, I'm just like, oh, like the door at the gym is like, ugh. And but I have to tell you, when I leave the gym, I feel like $1,000,000. I'm like, that was worth it because I feel so much better now. You know, if you get through the efforts, don't give up. You'll feel so much better about yourself when you don't. Thanks for listening. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. If you relate to anything, please email me at Bizzy, Bizzy, at BizzyLivingSober.com, and that's BUSY. And know that you're not alone. And keep coming back. Keep coming back and listening to me. I do have a guest coming on next week. At least I think I do. Okay. I think I do. I'm confirmed for Monday that I'm going to record it. So let's just hope it happens, because I hate that you have to listen to me all the time. I'm sure it's getting boring, but I hope you got something from today. And remember that we need each other. We need each other. I need you. I need you guys. And please write to me if you liked what you heard today. And until next time, keep getting busy, living sober. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Bye.